I.S.U.P.K.
Our steps. I mean, in order for them to be rich, you have to be poor, man. It's common sense. In order for a man to be a slave, there has to be an owner, and they know that, man. And they don't want to be on the losing end. You know, in order for us to be equal, it's never going to happen. Guess what being equal means? Being equal means what? There's no rich and there's no poor. There's no oppressed and there's no happy. In order for one man to be happy, somebody has to be oppressed, man. In order for one man to be rich, somebody has to be poor, man. And guess what? While you're talking about you want equality, this oppressor doesn't want equality, man. He wants to stay rich. He wants you to work for him. I mean, it's how it goes, man. I mean, the man that runs and owns KFC, he don't want to be equal. I mean, in order for him to be equal, guess what? He would have to pay you more than minimum wage, man. He understands he don't want no equality. He understands you better get in there and fry that chicken, man. And bring me my money and you get minimum wage. He don't want to be equal, but then black people are so at the bottom that we think being equal means something. In the I.S.U.P.K, we don't want to be equal, man. We want to be at the top better than everybody else, man. I don't want to be equal, man. I want to have lives and I want to own the KFC, man. I want to send someone to work for me. I want to be rich. And I want somebody else to be poor, man. I want somebody to come and beg me for a job, man. And I want to look them dead in the face after the interview and say, no. I want to look them dead in the face in the interview and say, no. Yeah, I say, we'll call you, and I ain't going to call them back, man. I want that power, man. Being equal don't get you that power, man. But if you come in the I.S.U.P.K and serve the Lord, you'll get the power.
Listen, let me say something. And listen, what don't go about bringing out super heavy. And I see the faces of some of you oppressors at the traffic lights. Y'all looking around, y'all smiling and laughing, because this is a joke to you. Because you the slave master. You the slave master and we the slaves. And what you don't understand, because of the Christian church done taught you so much lies, that Jesus Christ taught his disciples the same thing about the Romans. Christ was a black man, his disciples were black, and he taught his disciples the same thing about the Romans. Give me Matthew 17 and 24. He taught them that the Romans were slave masters, and they were oppressing the real Jews, who were black. Read.
Book of Matthew chapter 17, 24. And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter and said, doth not your master pay tribute?
Right, so as they're moving around, they went to Capernaum. And those tax collectors, that's what those who receive tribute means. Those tax collectors, just like England is famous for their taxes, they came to Peter and said, does your master, referring to Christ, pay tribute? Why do they single out Christ? Because he was a black man changing black lives. And your oppressor never likes that. Because changing black lives mean you don't have your slaves no more. And not having your slaves no more mean Great Britain wouldn't be so goddamn great. If I could change Raheem Sterling's life, it will never come home. You understand that? It will never ever make it home. It'll be forever lost. But you don't want that, so you send your tax collectors to them oppress Christ. And they said, does your master pay tribute? Why? Because if he don't pay tribute, you lock him up. Go ahead.
He said, yes.
And Peter said, yes, of course he pays tribute. Why? Because Christ was no criminal, and neither are we. We obey the laws of the land. Christ said, give unto Caesar what's Caesar's, and give unto the Lord what's the Lord's. And you don't get your goddamn taxes, oppressor. But my service belongs to Christ and my people. You will never get that. Read.
And when he was coming to the house, Jesus prevented him, saying, what thinkest thou, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tribute?
Right, so now as they go back into their house after they're done teaching on the street, Christ went to Peter and said, listen, what do you think about those tax collectors who come to make us pay tribute? What do you think about them? And that's what we do. After we done teach on the street, we go back home and we talk about camp. This is what it is. That's street speaking. It's a camp. And we talk about who came up and who argued and what they were saying, and you smiling, laughing, oppressors with your little kids, having fun, while we die on the streets of Brixton, while we die on the streets of Birmingham, while we die on the streets of London and Manchester and Liverpool and Gloucester. You have fun. You have fun. While we get deported and you tear our families to shreds, you bring in Afghans. You bring in thousands of Afghans and give them health care and housing. But you deport us who built the goddamn country. But Christ said, what do you think about these people? Read.
Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tribute?
Right, he's saying, who do the kings of the earth take customs or tribute? Because right now, these Europeans over here, they live like kings. They live like kings and we live like peasants. What do you think about them that take customs and tribute? These people who tax us. These people, oh, I heard about a damn TV tax, I nearly fainted. A TV tax, what the hell is wrong with you, Negro? You gonna tax me to open my eyes? Are you the devil? Read.
Of their own children or of strangers.
So Christ is saying, do you think these oppressors, do they tax their own children? Or do they tax strangers? And I'm asking you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, what do you think about your oppressor? What do you think about their system? Those who deport us, that Priti Patel, what do you think about them? Do they oppress their own or do they oppress strangers? Priti Patel is one of those Asians. They deport us and bring them in. I'm trying to paint the picture for you so you see it clearly. What do you think about them? Do they take tribute of their own children or to strangers? Read.
Peter saith unto him, of strangers.
Of who?
Of strangers.
Of who?
Of strangers.
And that's what Officer Dumgaba was trying to tell you. They don't treat their own like they treat us. We done served this empire from since World War II. Without black people, Britain would not exist. And I dare you to prove me wrong. Without black people, that Buckingham Palace wouldn't stand. It was built on the backs of slave money. It was built on blood. How dare you treat us the way you treat us, man? You should be on your knees saying thank you because I sacrificed my great-grandmother and grandfather so you can have Liverpool football team and Manchester football team and cricket and fish and chips and whatever foolishness you enjoy in England. You destroyed my family to build yours. At least you could say thank you. At least you could say, you know what, I'm sorry. Here's free health care. Here's a stipend every year for the rest of your life. Because without your sacrifice, Great Britain wouldn't be so great. But you turn around and treat us like dogs. You treat us like strangers. You treat us like we criminals. You treat us like we the problem in England. We didn't blow up no buildings. Black people didn't do 9/11. Black people didn't. What was the heathen name who cut off the dude head? Lee Rigsby. Lee Rigsby was no black man. You cut off of them, sold their head right in the middle of London. Black people then take cars and run people over in France Promenade in December 2016. We are not the problem in your country. We are the solution, though. And you treat us like we're filth and criminals. So God got to bring coronavirus. God got to bring the plagues for you and shut you down because you don't respect God's people. Peter said, yes, they tax the strangers. What does that make us in this empire? Strangers. We are not their children. We are their slaves. And black man, the day you realize that you are not the children of Britain, but you are the slaves, but you are the children of the Most High God, though. You are the special people of the earth. You the real Jews. The Bible said, ye are the salt of the earth. Black man, you give society its savor. Without you, black man, what would Britain be like? Huh? You can imagine the English League with no black players ever? No Ian Wright, no, come on, no Dwight York, no Raheem Sterling, no Kyle Walker, None. Never. It would never come home. you might as well invent a new sport. It will never ever come home. You can imagine your Olympic team without black people, without black swimmers. You can imagine your medical care system. Listen, you oppressors don't even like to take care of your own parents. You put them in a hospice somewhere, and guess who changed the damn dirty diapers? Black women. Black women gotta be in there wiping in between your great-grandpappy behind. Without us, you wouldn't have a country. Say thank you. If you're a good and honest white man, a white woman, say thank you. Silence. That's why God got to bring coronavirus. Because you're wicked. You're the devil the Bible speaks of.
Nobody tell you crap. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it works out.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to Rhythm Man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good record. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain, something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sick?